Let's take a look at the jazz classic Pent-up House by Sonny Rollins. He recorded this in 1956. It is a favorite amongst jazz musicians because it often appears at jam sessions. It's a fairly simple chord structure to play. There are three things that I want to focus on in this tune. The first one is the pickup measure, which is sometimes difficult to catch and think your way around it. The second thing is the melody, which is syncopated. And if you don't know what syncopation is, we're going to talk about that in this video. And then finally, the chord structure, which is a simple 16-bar structure. Hey, it's Paul Tobey here from Jazzmentl.com. Thanks for joining me for another one of my tutorials. Let's jump right into the tune Pent-up House. Take a look at the sheet music on your screen. The first thing that I wanted to talk about is the pickup measure. Now, a lot of people think that this first measure, which of course we're talking about this one right here, is bar one, but it really isn't. Well, think about this like a pickup measure, and then you've got bar 1, 2, 3, and then bar 4 is another pickup measure leading to the next bar. So the pickup measure starts on the and of 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now, obviously, this is swing, so you have to accent basically the offbeats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. You hear that? I really accented those notes. Okay, that's what makes swing. It's the and of the beat. The next thing we want to focus on is what we call syncopation. If you haven't heard the term before, basically what it means is to subdivide the beat into sections. Now, if you count your way through this, essentially what you'll have is quarter notes and eighth notes, and you'll also have eighth note rests. So the way to count this is 1 and 2. So 2 actually appears before the next note, which is and. So this is what syncopation means. 1 and 2 and. 1 and 2 and. That's the way to count through it. You can't really just listen to it and play it. I mean, you can, but then you really wouldn't understand the written language. So let's count through the whole thing together. What I'm going to do is just basically clap when the notes appear. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Does that make sense? So basically, I'm clapping when the notes appear. The way to play this on the piano is like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 2 and 2 and 2 and 2. So that's what we mean by syncopation. Obviously, it's a rhythm that you have to learn as written. The simple part is, of course, this part. Just G major 7 to A flat. I like this voicing. It's basically a D7 with a sharp 9. It's a tritone substitution of A flat, but it works really well in this context. So G major. All right, let's play it from the beginning. So I like to comp on the lowest notes with the left hand. That means that note, that one, and that one. And then of course you're comping on each of these notes in that bar. Then it changes, the chord changes here, and we're getting into the key of C momentarily at this note. That's a little tricky to play. I start with my second finger, fourth finger, second finger, first finger. Then it's a bit of a jump from the D up to the G. And the accents are in the same place. And then on this bar, it's an interesting melody. It's basically the 11th and the 9th of C minor. So basically all you want to do is just play the tritone in the left hand of F7, right? This is an F7 chord and we're just playing the tritone. And then back to the A section. And that really is all there is to the head. I'm going to play the head on the piano and then we'll come back and talk about the solo section, which is a simple 16-bar structure. And that's how the head should sound. Let's talk about the solo section, which is the reason why it's a favorite amongst musicians, because at jam sessions, if you really can't think of anything complicated to play, you might want to play this because the chords aren't that difficult. Essentially, all you have is a 2, 5, 1 of G, and we'll think about this E7 as a passing chord. It's not actually part of the tune, but the reason why we put it in there, I'll talk about that in a minute. And then it's just another 2, 5, 1 of G. And then you've got a 2, 5 of C, right? 2, 5 of C, and then you've got a 2, 5 of B flat. And then just repeat again. So it's A structure, 2, 5, 1. Now, the reason why we put this E7 here is because it's a 5, 7 of A minor, which is of course the next chord. So it works like a passing chord, bit of a turnaround to help you move the tune forward. A minor to D7 to G major 7. Just giving you some examples of how to play this tune. So A minor 7, could be even D7 sharp 11, to G, to E7, A minor, to D7, to G. And then a 2, 5, 1 of C. And then so that's a pretty easy chord structure. You're just playing shell voicings in the left hand. And in the right hand, you're just playing this chord and then dropping one note like that. It's from the C to the B, and then from the B flat to the A. So like this. One more time. And then we're back. What I'm going to do is just play a little bit of solo at the grand piano, and then we'll come back and we'll give you a link to the sheet music. Of course, we talk a lot about soloing on this channel. I didn't really want to focus on the actual soloing, bebop scales, things like that in this video because I just really wanted to cover the tune Pent-up House, which is a great jazz standard by Sonny Rollins. I'm going to post a link to the sheet music and the backing track that you heard in that recording. I'm going to post that link up here in the corner. Please go check that out. It's absolutely free to download. And if you're so inclined, reach down, hit the little thumbs up button. It really helps us here at the channel. And if you want to subscribe, if you're not already subscribed, then please join us and several thousand other members from around the world by clicking the subscribe button and the little bell, and we'll notify you of all the upcoming videos that we're making. If you really want to dive into how to solo over tunes like this and other jazz standards, I've got lots of videos on this channel that talk about bebop scales. One in particular is very popular with our members. I'm going to post a link to that video right here. You can go check that out next.